this video is about missing murdered indigenous women, like the MMIW. I call this the MMIW presentation. Stand up for racism against the indigenous women and girls, and the critical situation of violence and disappearance of First Nations females. Protect indigenous females from sexual harassment, murder, and disappearance. Native women and girls across Canada are being taken and murdered at an unrelenting rate. Indigenous women are 4 times more likely to get kidnapped and murdered than non-Indigenous women. Native women make up 16% of all female homicide victims and 11% of missing women, when Indigenous people only make up 4.3% of Canada. From 2001 to 2014, the average rate of homicides involving Indigenous women victims was 4 times more than those involving non-Indigenous women. There's a widespread anger and sadness in First Nations communities. Sisters, wives, mothers, and daughters are gone from lots of families with no clear answers to what happened to them. The National Crime Information Center reports that in 2015, there were 5,712 reports of missing American Indian and Alaska Native women and girls in the missing person database. Native women make a significant amount of the missing and murdered cases, and murder is only the third leading cause of death to Indigenous women. 16% of all women murdered in Canada from 1980 to 2012 were Indigenous. A notable case in the MMIW is some of the 49 women from the Vancouver area were murdered by serial killer Robert Pickton. The youngest victim was a baby less than a year old, and the oldest victim was an 83-year-old woman. The MMIW hand is a red hand to symbolize missing sisters whose voices are not heard. It also stands for the silence of the media and law enforcement in midst of this crisis. A red hand has become the symbol for the MMIW movement. Remember to stand up for women who are in danger and try to help Indigenous women stop Indigenous women from being kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and murdered. That is my presentation. Make sure to spread awareness around your community to prevent Indigenous women from being kidnapped, murdered, or sexually assaulted.